Why do you negotiate with yourself? So ridiculous. Yesterday was day one. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Like literally I'm so tired. And I'm back again. Here I am. Same exact time, doing the same exact thing. Day two. I'm so tired, dude. Oh my gosh. I wanted to rewind for a minute. Back, I don't know, a week and a half ago, Friday, not last Friday, but the Friday before that. Kind of how this all snowballed into me realizing that I'm not working at 100%. I want to share this with you because maybe you can find some value in it and maybe it'll inspire you to take action for once in your life. I was sitting here working and I saw some post on Instagram about artificial superintelligence and how it's gonna come pretty soon. So artificial superintelligence is the next step after artificial general intelligence. And some of you guys don't even know this exists or this is coming. Like it's literally happening. And it's a good thing to know because it proves my point that college is going to be useless in 5 years. If you know somebody who's about to go into college, tell them this because it's going to be useless. 90% of jobs are going to be gone. What remains? Real estate. Anyways, there's something called artificial general intelligence. And artificial general intelligence, feel free to look it up. I don't know if I have all the facts right. I just know the general idea. Artificial general intelligence is basically a human version of AI. So it has feelings, it can reason like a human, it has the same IQ of a human, of the smartest human. And so that's coming relatively soon. In the next 5 years, 100%. I think a few people said in the next 12 months, they're working on it right now. Big tech companies are literally working on AGI, artificial general intelligence, right now. And nobody knows this and nobody realizes this. Once artificial general intelligence comes, it'll be able to change its code because it'll be like a human. So it'll be able to change its code and update itself and get better and smarter. Once AGI comes out, something called artificial superintelligence will shortly follow. And we're not talking 5 years after AGI, ASI is artificial superintelligence, follows. ASI is literally coming in hours to days after AGI is created because it'll update itself as soon as ASI is born. We could either be absolutely screwed or design the best thing we've ever designed in our life. Artificial superintelligence will have an IQ that we can't even comprehend. We won't even be able to comprehend what it's doing. In a millisecond, before we can even think, it can solve problems that take billions of years in seconds. Literally seconds. Anyways, you can research it yourself. Basically what this means is that if anything is possible, if time travel is possible, if the multiverse theory is real, if anything, really, ASI will be able to compute and find the solution to make it possible on Earth in seconds. So then where does that leave us? Because this will be an extreme power and we will be tiny little ants compared to it. If it decides it doesn't like humanity, okay, I mean, what can we do? Nothing. Because every single thing is linked to technology. Lights, phones, computers, cameras, traffic lights, food is technology now. So if it decides that it doesn't like humanity, then we're basically screwed. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Anyways. So I was thinking about ASI, artificial superintelligence, and I was thinking, okay, well, people don't even realize this exists. It doesn't exist yet, but it's going to soon. People don't even realize this is a thing that's going to be developed soon, like in our lifetimes in the next 5 years. And then what's the point of college? What's the point of working towards something? Because all of our questions will be answered in milliseconds. What's the point of leaving a legacy if ASI is just going to create legacy for generations? Anyways, it got me thinking about it, and I was sitting on my patio and I was thinking to myself, wow, really nothing matters. No action you take or don't take matters. In the grand scheme of things, nothing matters. Because we're all gonna die. You're gonna be forgotten at some point. And so a person doesn't die when they die when they're forgotten. So if you die and you're forgotten in one generation, you didn't live very long. If you die and you're forgotten in 10 generations, then you lived longer. You obviously did something better in your life. You left more legacy, you changed more people's lives. And that was my goal, is to live as long as possible. It's tricky now because with ASI and you're thinking about these things, what's the point? And I don't know. I've always struggled to find a purpose in life. My purpose in life was to leave a legacy. That's what I've realized in the last 6 months to a year. Now with ASI, what's the point of leaving a legacy? I mean, you're probably gonna be forgotten anyways. So then I'm sitting there thinking nothing matters, nothing matters. And I've always said nothing matters because at the core, all of you know that you're gonna die one day and nothing you do actually matters. But you never actually think about it. You never actually truly believe nothing matters. When I was sitting here and I was thinking about ASI, and I was saying to myself, nothing matters, I was truly believing that nothing matters. I could take no action, or I could take all the action, and at the end of the day, nothing matters. But maybe it does. Maybe your short time on earth here matters. Anyways, that's not the point. I was sitting here thinking nothing matters, to the point where I was thinking, okay, my actions don't matter, what I say doesn't matter, and my thoughts don't matter. And so then I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, okay, my thoughts don't matter. And for once in my life, I was just clear. There was no thoughts. It was just purely existing in the moment. And it was blissful, and it was very fleeting, and it was, I can't even describe it in words. And I was like, that was a weird experience, because that's never happened to me. I've never actually fully existed for a short period of time. Apparently it's very hard to do. There's some ancient technique that's called Satori, there's different names for it, enlightenment. So apparently I accidentally did something that Buddhists like try to do for their entire life. I just stumbled across it, and feel free to research that. I don't know too much about it because it just happened. So that kind of changed my perspective on life. I realized nothing matters except being present in the moment. Something I've struggled with my whole life is being present in the moment. After hitting Satori on accident, it kind of changed my outlook on life. What are my goals in life, and what can I just leave behind? Because nothing matters, right? And so I realized there's a lot of people that I'm still holding on to because they're friends and they're past friends. But at the end of the day, these people, you know, I'm happy to be their friends and I'm happy to see them every now and again, but they drag me down. And that's the truth. Because they don't have goals as high as me. And I'm not saying they're bad people. Definitely not. But you know, people from my past, not that I have met here. Everybody I have met in Phoenix since moving here has been incredible. But there has been people in my past that it's time to let go of them. It's time to say, okay, I'm tired of holding on to you and hearing your opinion. If you're not going to have the same goals, or at least have relatively the same ambition, we can both work and achieve our goals, if that makes sense. And so after hitting Satori on accident, it kind of changed my focus in life. And I realized it kind of had a snowball effect onto me, which allowed me to have that awakening that, hey, I only am operating at 30% every single day. And yesterday I operated probably at 92 to 93%, which is just insane. It felt like I did a week of work in a day, which makes me think I was probably only operating at like 10%, but it's nuts. And I encourage you guys to do it and just try to be productive. And this goes back to, what does 100% look like? So yesterday, it was just pure work 24/7. I was working while I was eating. I was making calls while I was eating. And I accomplished so much. I caught up on so many things. I mean, it's just insane how much you can actually accomplish if you put your brain forward and towards your goal. And this goes to, okay, let's look at the most successful people in the world. Elon Musk, let's look at him. Do you think he operates at 20-30% every day? No. I saw some interview somewhere that said Elon Musk is 100% output and no noise. So he's basically working 24/7 all day, every single day. And that's super interesting because he is the definition of what a human is capable of. If humans are not distracted by technology, distracted by scrolling on Instagram, distracted by seeing other people on social media live their dreams and comparing themselves to them, then you can be so great. You can have so much potential. And that's kind of what I've realized is there is so much potential in this world. And people are so smart, and each generation gets smarter and smarter. And that's why they're more addicted to technology, because they're hiding themselves away from their intelligence. And I'm not saying everybody is super smart. There's definitely people out there who are not smart. But I do think that generation after generation, we have evolved and adapted as humans and have become smarter. I mean, if you look at these kids, there's some like 16-year-olds out there making millions of dollars a month. Absolutely ridiculous. And it just goes to show that people are getting smarter, and yet people are getting lazier. I think this world is at a point where it's the most lazy it's ever been. And this is how it's designed. This is how people at the top of the world have designed this slavery. Because if you look, let's really analyze this for a second. If you look at the people, what runs the world, right? It's money. So the people with the most amount of money run the world. Because if you have money, you can change whatever you want. You can play this game. It's like chess. So the people who have the most amount of money are allowed to change the world. I truly believe that this world is designed to keep people working. You look at so many people who are smart. I guarantee you have multiple friends, maybe even you, that's super smart, and you know you're smart, but you're locked into this grind, this 9 to 5, because you're working your job and you're getting a paycheck that just barely keeps you alive just so you can go back to work. And then at the end of the day, you don't have time to work on your own output, something that will change your life. Because at the end of the day, you're lazy. If you really wanted to, you could work from 6 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. on something that is for you. Go to your job, 9 to whatever, get home, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. you could be working. You could be working. And that's kind of what you guys have to realize. And the reason I'm saying this is for the benefit of the people watching this, is because you need to wake up. You need to wake up. You're alive. You're breathing. You could die tomorrow and you're sitting here and you're working on something that you don't enjoy. I mean, what are you doing? Genuinely, what are you doing? Please stop, pause this video and think to yourself, what am I doing with my life? Do it, because that changed my life. And if any of you even operated at 80-90% of your output for one day, I mean, you would, it's the momentum effect, right? The law of momentum. And so that goes back to people are so lazy these days. People are so lazy. And it's frustrating to me because I see it firsthand. And I see people who say, oh, I'm not gonna do this. Oh, I'm not gonna do that. But you need to realize that you only live once. You're alive right now, and then you're gonna die, and nothing matters. And in 5 years, ASI could take over the world, and you're just gonna be sitting there wishing you would have taken action. I mean, just come on, wake up. Wake up. The world has been designed this way. Let's think back to times when, there wasn't cell phones. What was there? There was the Coliseum. People have their jobs and then they go to the Coliseum on the weekends, and it distracts them from the real world. If you have people who are running the world at the top of the world, what do you think they're gonna want you to do? Do you think they're gonna want you to work your job, paycheck to paycheck, every single day for the rest of your life, and then not think about the system and how it's designed because you're too distracted trying to make your mortgage payment? Or do you think they're gonna want people to just sit around and think about how this world is designed? It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Technology was designed to keep people not thinking. Every generation gets smarter because humans evolve. That's just a fact. Humans evolve, and unfortunately, we have evolved the wrong way. We've evolved to get addicted to technology because we are smarter and we don't want to think about our problems. If you actually sit down and think about your life, I guarantee you, most of you are not happy with your life. And so what do you do when you start thinking about your life? You open up TikTok or you open up Instagram and you start scrolling. Or you go watch a show. Or you go watch a football game, right? And it's ridiculous. The world has literally gaslit you into thinking it's okay to sit on your phone and waste your life away. I mean, isn't that insane? So I guess the point I'm trying to get across here is that you need to just try harder. Just wake up and change your life. One of the biggest things I've realized with humans in general is that, like I said yesterday, there's so many people who push you down, who say you're not gonna be able to do it. Oh, you're never gonna succeed. Oh, this, that, blah, 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 blah. And so you need to realize that these people are stuck in the world too. They're worried about paying their mortgage payments. They're worried about going to college and getting a degree and working a job, even though in 5 years it's not gonna matter. Please just think to yourself, am I happy with the life I'm living? And one of the biggest things that I've realized is that humans need permission to take action, or else they're never gonna take action. They're never going to. So here's your permission slip. Take action, change your life. I'm giving you permission to. Look yourself in the mirror and change your life. Here's your permission slip. And so it's tough to see the world like this, but I know I can't change people. I can't convince people to change their lives because that's something you have to decide. And you're probably going to watch this video and you're probably going to say, oh, no, he's right to some degree. And then you're not gonna do anything about it. So let me just leave you with this, is that you have to take action. One way or another, you have to take action. So just please try to operate at 80% today. Please try to focus on something that you're passionate about and build something from it. Please try to wake up. Do you understand? If you don't wake up, then you're gonna be trapped for the rest of your life. You're gonna hit 60 years old because time moves fast. Your time on this world is very, very short. Very, very short. I mean, for me, I'm already 21 and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I have no time. I have no time. And so many people say, oh, you're 21, you have so much time. And who are those people? Ask yourself, who are those people that are saying you have so much time? It's people that didn't accomplish their dreams because they didn't take action. And, you know, if this video even helps one person wake up and take action on their goals, then I succeeded. I don't care if everybody else says you're crazy for saying something like this. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, nothing matters. We're all going to die. And there's a high chance that the world gets taken over in 5 years. So I'm not trying to, you know, be pessimistic or scare you. I'm just trying to be realistic. Try to operate at 80 to 90% today. See what happens. See how much effect you have on the world. And imagine you did that for 10 days straight. I mean, you could probably quit your job. You could probably travel the world. Just try. What is gonna happen if you fail? At the end of the day, nothing is gonna happen if you fail because nothing matters.